Hello everyone, this is Lata Akula. In this video we are going to study about modifications in the root system. So actually what is the main function of the root? Absorbing water and mineral salts from the soil and giving to the main stem. But in some cases, during some cases the root system will perform functions such as respiration, storage and protection, and they change their shape and structure according to that function, and they are called as modifications. The root will be modified to perform different functions. And here now we will see some examples regarding the modifications. The first one is the storage roots. In some plants, they store excess food material in the main root system. Because of the storage of excess food material, the root system, the shape will be changed and they develop into a bulged structures. So they are called as storage roots. These are seen in roots such as carrot, turnip, beetroot, and adventitious roots of the sweet potato. In this condition will be seen that main taproot system will store the excess food material and develops into a bulged root-like structures. And next one, respiratory roots. These respiratory roots are seen in the plants which are growing in the mangrove forest. In that mangrove forest, the plants are deficient of proper aeration. So the root system will not get proper air because in the surrounding conditions they are in waterlogged and swampy conditions are seen. In that conditions, the root system will not get air. So to avoid this, the plants such as Rhizospora, they develop a special type of roots called as pneumatophores. This pneumatophores, they develop from the root system, main root system only. They develop upward direction. They consist of special type of cells called as lenticels. These absorb the oxygen present in the air and utilizes. So by using this, that can avoid that condition. And prop roots. These prop roots will be seen in the banyan. Actually, the banyan tree is a huge tree. So to support such a huge tree, the tree need additional support. For that, the main branches, they develop a special type of adventitious roots. These adventitious roots, they develop aerially, and these aerial roots, they will grow downwards and penetrate into the soil and holds the soil particles tightly. And become into the prop roots. These prop roots will develop in all directions. They will act as the pillars and helps the plant additional support, and strength is given by these prop roots without collapsing during the conditions such as storms and heavy rains. Stilt roots. These stilt roots are seen in the sugarcane and maize. Actually, in the sugarcane and maize, this is the stem actually. The stem consists of nodes, right? These nodes, they produce adventitious roots. Each node produces adventitious roots. But at the basal region, the basal node that produces adventitious roots, which will be deep into the soil, which will penetrate deep into the soil and give strength to the total plant. Those type of roots are called as stilt roots. So stilt roots are seen in sugarcane and maize. So these are some of the modifications. So what are the modifications? We have seen storage roots are seen in the carrot, turnip, beet, radish, etc. And where the excess food material was stored in the taproot system. And respiratory root system was seen in the mangrove trees such as Rhizospora, where the pneumatophores will prevent the oxygen deficiency condition. Next, prop roots were seen in trees such as banyan. So these in banyan trees, the main roots, they develop adventitious roots which will develop the prop roots and give the support to the total plant. And stilt root are present in sugarcane and maize, where the basal part of the node, develop adventitious roots which will penetrate into the soil and develop stilt roots. And now we'll study about some more examples of the modifications. Now in this video we will study some more examples of the modifications. So the first one is the floating roots. So in aquatic plants such as the Gessia, these floating roots are present. So they develop a spongy roots which develop from the branches, helpful in the floating and respiration of that plant. Such type of roots are called as floating roots, which helpful in the floating. Not only floating, they are also helpful for the respiration also. Next one, assimilatory roots. These assimilatory roots are seen in some plants such as Tinospora. They develop aerial roots, and Trapa, it develops submerged roots. So these aerial roots of Tinospora and submerged roots of Trapa, they are green in color and perform photosynthesis and makes food material. Such type of roots which can able to prepare food material are called as assimilatory roots. Next, sucking roots. Sucking roots are seen in the plants such as parasitic plants such as Cuscuta or Autobranchia and Viscum. In these plants, they will grow on another plant and absorb the food and water by means of these sucking roots. So sucking roots are seen in the parasitic plants. And hygroscopic roots. Hygroscopic roots are mainly seen in epiphytes. Epiphytes means some orchids, they grow on another plant. The plants which grow on dependent on other plants are called as epiphytic plants. Orchids are the main example for these epiphytes. So these orchids, they have roots made for absorption of the moisture present in the atmosphere. The roots, they consist of a special tissue called as velamen tissue. By means of that tissue, that was able to absorb the moisture present in the atmosphere. And next one is the reproductive roots. So some fleshy adventitious roots, they will helpful in the vegetative propagation. When we cut the roots and sow in the soil, that will develop into the new plant, that will helpful in the vegetative propagation also. So such roots are called as reproductive roots. Example are the sweet potato and dahlia are the examples. And epiphyllous roots. Epiphyllous roots means some plants such as bryophyllum, they have leaf lamina is like this. So in this bryophyllum, the margins of this leaf lamina, they develop some root-like structures. So by means of this, that when the leaf was fall from the plant, that these roots will develop into the new plant. Here the leaf will act as the leaf will helpful in the vegetative propagation and develop into the new plant. Such type of roots are present in the leaves are called as epiphyllous roots, which are present in the bryophylla. These are the some other modifications seen in the root system. First one is the floating root system present in the Jassia, where from the branches spongy roots develops, helps in the respiration and floating. And assimilatory roots are seen in the Tinospora and Trapa, where the root system will be green in color and helpful in the preparation of the food material. Sucking roots are seen in the parasitic plants such as Cuscuta, Autobranchia and Viscum. In that these roots will absorb the food and water from the host plant. Hygroscopic roots are seen in the epiphytic plants such as orchids. In that these orchids, epiphytes are nothing but the plants which grow on another plants are called as epiphytic plants. But these are not parasitic. Here these orchids, they absorb the moisture present in the atmosphere by means of a special tissue present in the root, which is called as velamen tissue. By means of that tissue, that was able to absorb the moisture present in the atmosphere. Next one is the reproductive roots. Reproductive roots are nothing but these roots will helpful in the vegetative propagation and develop into the new plant, that was seen in the sweet potato and thalia. And the other one is epiphyllous roots. Epiphyllous roots are seen in the bryophyllum, the leaf lamina, the margins of the leaf lamina that develops root system, which will helpful in the vegetative propagations. These are the modifications of the root system. And with this we have our root system is over. In the next class we will study about the stem. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and keep watching. Thank you.